It's a Sunday in late 2021, and Marcus is holding two things he's pretty sure are going to make him rich. In his left hand, a phone. On the screen, a number going up. A coin he can't really explain, but the chart looks like a rocket, and his group chat is on fire. In his right hand, a shoebox. Inside it, a pair of 1985 Air Jordan 1s. Original, unworn. The cardboard is yellowed at the corners, and the box smells faintly of old glue in somebody's grandfather's closet. He paid about the same for both. Marcus looks at the phone, then the box, then the phone again, and he thinks the thought almost everyone thinks at the top of a bubble. I'm a genius. Hold that image, the phone and the box, because 4 years later, only one of those two things still exists. You felt this. Maybe not with shoes. Maybe it was a stock or a coin or a graphics card or a pack of trading cards you were sure you'd flip. That little voice that says, this time the line only goes up. So here's the question I actually want to chew on today, and it's weirder than it sounds. How did a pair of 40-year-old sneakers end up being the boring, sensible part of Marcus's portfolio? Let's start with the shoe, because the shoe is doing something strange. A 1985 Air Jordan 1 is physically not impressive. Leather, rubber, a bit of foam, some stitching a factory in the 80s knocked out by the 1000. Nobody designed it to be precious. It was a basketball shoe. The league reportedly fined Michael Jordan for wearing the colorway, which is the kind of origin story marketing departments now pray for. And yet, in 2020, a game-worn pair of his early Jordans sold at auction for $560,000. A few months later, another pair broke that record. And in 2023, a pair he wore during his final championship run went for $2.2 million at Sotheby's, the most expensive sneakers ever sold. Now, before you yell at the screen, yes, those are game-worn, sweat-soaked, on his actual feet shoes. That's a different game, but that ceiling pulls everything up under it. Because here's the thing the shoe can do that the coin never could. The shoe got old, and getting old made it worth more. There's a word sneaker people use that I find genuinely beautiful: deadstock. It means a shoe that was never worn. It sat in its box while the world moved on, while the factory that made it retooled, while that exact leather and that exact glue stopped being produced. You cannot make a 1985 shoe in 2026. You can make a copy. You cannot make the original. Time only runs one direction, and that, it turns out, is a feature. The whole global sneaker resale market is around $6 billion a year now, projected to maybe hit $30 billion by 2030. People treat shoeboxes like savings bonds. And I know exactly what you're thinking because I thought it too. That's just a different bubble. Tulips, beanie babies, same human silliness in a different outfit. And okay, you're not wrong. In the 1630s, the Dutch decided tulip bulbs were worth more than houses. And then one Tuesday, they collectively decided they weren't. And a lot of people learned a hard lesson about flowers. In the 90s, your aunt had a closet full of beanie babies she was certain would pay for your college. They paid for nothing. They're landfill now. So why isn't the 1985 Jordan a beanie baby? Hold on to that. We're coming back to it. And the answer is going to be a little uncomfortable. Now let's talk about the phone. Marcus's coin did what coins do. It went up, and the group chat called him a prophet. And then one weekend, it went down, and the prophet stopped posting. Crypto isn't one thing, so let me be fair. Bitcoin is still here. As I'm recording this, in 2026, it's trading somewhere around $77,000, which is both an astonishing number and, if you bought near the top, a deeply painful one. The market mood right now has a name the trackers literally print on the dashboard: extreme fear. But Marcus didn't buy Bitcoin. He bought the other kind, the kind with a dog on it, or a promise of 20% returns forever, or a stable coin that turned out to be neither stable nor a coin. In May of 2022, a project called Terra-Luna, which a lot of smart people with PhDs swore was the safe one, lost something like $60 billion of value in roughly 3 days. Not crashed, evaporated. People went to sleep with a retirement and woke up with a screenshot. That same year, FTX, a company that put its name on a stadium, that ran celebrity ads, turned out to be holding a lot less than everyone thought. It folded in about a week. Here's what I want you to notice. When Marcus's coin died, there was no thing, no object, no box yellowing in a closet. There was a wallet address, a number that used to be big, and a website that eventually stopped loading. The value didn't go somewhere. It just stopped being agreed upon. I called a friend who does art conservation, the people who keep 400-year-old paintings from flaking apart, and she said something that's been rattling around my head ever since. She said the cracks in an old painting aren't damage, they're provenance. They're proof the thing survived. We even borrow a word from Japanese, wabi-sabi, for the beauty of something worn, aged, imperfect, clearly touched by time. It's why we trust gold, honestly. Gold isn't useful. You can't eat it, but it's heavy, it doesn't rust, and a bar of it from a sunken Spanish galleon is still, today, a bar of gold. The oxidized sole, the yellowed midsole, the faint crackle in old leather. On a sneaker, that aging isn't decay. Collectors want it. It's the patina. It's the receipt that says, I am real, I was here, time tried me, and I'm still in the box. A line of code does not develop a patina. It is identical on day 1 and day 10,000, right up until the moment it's worth nothing. Okay, now I have to be honest with you. Because I promised the Beanie Baby answer, and I'm not going to lie to make a clean story. The sneaker market is not actually safe. I want to say that clearly. In 2025, roughly a quarter of all sneakers sold on the big resale platforms went for less than retail. Reseller margins that used to be 100% got crushed to 10 or 15. When Yeezys got restocked, prices on some models dropped by a quarter almost overnight, because scarcity that can be unscarced was never really scarcity at all. So the title of this video, more stable than crypto? That's, let's call it aspirational. A random hype sneaker from last month is every bit as much of a casino chip as a meme coin. Same FOMO, same group chat, same painful screenshot, so I sort of lied to you. Not about the auctions, those are real, but the idea that sneakers are a safe haven, that's a story too. It's just a story wearing nicer shoes. And that is the actual thing I wanted to show you. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. The 1985 Jordan and the dead coin were never different in the way Marcus thought. Neither one has value sitting inside it. The leather isn't worth $2 million. The code isn't worth 60 billion. The value was always the agreement. A bunch of strangers deciding together to keep believing the same thing at the same time. Markets are just stories enough people agree to tell. So the real difference between the shoe and the coin was never stability. It was this. When the story about the coin ended, Marcus was left holding nothing, a dead link. When the story about the shoe ends, if it ends, he's still left holding a shoe, a weird, beautiful, yellowing object he can put on his actual feet and walk out the door. The crypto promised to be pure value with no object. The shoe was honest about being an object first. And maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe in a world that keeps trying to sell us value with nothing you can hold, points, coins, streaks, numbers that live on someone else's server, there's a quiet little rebellion in wanting something that takes up space, something that gets old, something that, when every story collapses, is still just there, on the shelf, smelling like 1985. This was never really a video about sneakers versus crypto. It was about which of our stories we get to hold in our hands when the lights go out. Marcus, by the way, still has the shoes. He says he's never selling. I believe him, but then I would. We always believe the story we're standing in. I'll see you in the next one. Keep the box.